Okay, hi everybody. I'm back again with another video. This is another unboxing. It's of a brand new game that's just come out. Sorry about the glare from the camera here, but it's quite dark, so I'm having to use the light from the camera itself. This is Ghostbusters, the board game. This is the deluxe edition. This is my Kickstarter pledge that I did. If you haven't backed this game and you're wanting to buy it, this is not the version that you will get from your local store. This is the actual Mass Hysteria box set. It's basically the box itself, the cover art is completely different from what you'll see on the shelves, and the contents inside this will be different as well. What they've done is, with the Mass Hysteria box, they've put all the stretch goals and any Kickstarter exclusives into one box, rather than what you'll get as the normal base game, which will probably be a reduced version of this. You won't get as many miniatures and things like that, but we'll take a look at the miniatures that you can get for this game. There was one set of miniatures that I seem to be missing. I must have missed them when I filled in my pledge. Is the ghost taxi drivers. So I can't see any in the box, so I think I've missed out on that, so I'll have to try and get hold of some of those on eBay at a later date. So I'll give you a quick look at the box first, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. Here's the classic Ghostbusters sign, and these are the contents of what is in the box. Well, what you can expect to get in the box at retail. You will see some differences in my box. So that's the box. I'll put a pause in here and we'll see what comes out first. Okay, first things in the box is obviously the manual, which you need obviously to be able to play the game, but it's got great artwork inside, taken from the cartoon series, I believe. I've never actually seen the cartoon series, so couldn't be 100% sure. There's a flaw with mine. I don't know if anybody else has got this problem. I'll show you that in a minute. But it's nicely laid out. My pages haven't been cut properly. I've got 2 or 3 pages that are still sealed at the bottom, so I'm going to have to get a hobby knife just to cut them open. And again, there's another one that's sealed. So there's a bit of a QC error there from the company. But apparently, for what a lot of people say, it's quite easy to follow, easy to pick up and play this game. So, not having read it yet, I couldn't tell you if that's true. But hopefully I might do a playthrough video at some point. I don't really do a lot of playthrough videos on this channel. I just like to do unboxings, because it's difficult for me to do playthrough videos. And on the back is what every game has now. It's a summary of how you go and play the game, which is always handy. Next up, we have an art print. I'm not sure if you'll get this with the base game. I don't think so. I think this is a Kickstarter exclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's obviously the animated series. Nothing on the back, and not signed. It would have been nice if it had been signed, but there you go. Now we move on to the mechanics of the game, which is obviously all the tokens. You've got is it Ecto one? I think it's called the Ecto one. It's been a long time since I've seen the film. But if you back the Kickstarter, you don't need that. I don't believe, because you actually have the miniature itself. So it's nicely brightly coloured, double-sided, as you get with most games now. Now we move on to the board pieces. They come in 4 separate squares, and they are all double-sided. So depending on what scenario you're playing, obviously by the number, that's how you lay it out. You can play the whole thing as a campaign, where you start from the very beginning, work your way up to right at the end, but I think that takes a long time to play. Not recommended to start with. Really nice artwork on this. This is one of the reasons why I bought this game as well, because I just love the artwork, and the miniatures are really good as well, which you'll see in a little while. So I'm not going to go over this in great detail. But this is what you can expect. I'm not sure if all these board pieces actually come in the base game as well. I'm not sure some of these are extras. I think they were, but it's been a while since the Kickstarter finished, so I'll have to check on that. But I'm sure you'll be able to. If they're not with the main game, you can buy them at some point. Yeah, but it's really nice artwork. I love the way they've done it. Nice big squares, so it's easy to see the movement as well. No issues with that. These are all punch out, by the way. There's a slime all over the floor. And the final one. And just to show you, it is quite thick card, so it should stand the test of time. So that's it for the actual board and the tokens. We now move on to the miniatures. So we'll start with this tray first. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, this is not what you will get with the base game off the shelf in your local store. I'm not going to show you every single one. I'll try and show you all the different sculpts if I can. So we'll start with the ghosts. Forgive me for not knowing the names. I cannot remember. I think these are the gruesome twosome. You can paint these, but I think they look really good unpainted. I'm not going to bother painting these. But that's one of the gruesome twosomes. There's quite a few of them. I think these are all gruesome twosomes. Yep. So we'll move on to a slightly different one. Again, I cannot tell you the name of this off the top of my head. You get 4 of those by the looks of it, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gruesome twosomes, and sorry, it's 8 of these. With the base game, I think you only get 4 of each. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Oh, there's some more gruesome twosomes there. Show you another gruesome twosome. So it's the first time I've really looked at this, so I've had a quick go through it, but I haven't really had a look at it in detail. But this is definitely a different one. Looks like, is it Gozer or Geezer or something like that? It's the actual baddie at the end of the Ghostbusters movie. I don't think it's that name in this though, I'm not sure. But obviously it's a female character. We'll come on to the Ghostbusters in a minute. What we got here? Oh, we have the ghost toilet. It's quite strong plastic as well, so it shouldn't be a problem with standing the test of time. You've got a couple of those, I believe. This is another one of the bad guys, the big bad ones, should I say. Bosses. You're probably slating me for not doing my research and giving you the names. I just wanted you to see what you can expect from this campaign. Another giant ghost. Camera's not really picking these up that well. Because it's see-through plastic, it's a little bit difficult. But you can get an idea. Okay, we'll move on to this one. Like an old hag. Looks similar to the ghost in the library from the film. I'm assuming it is because it's standing on books by the looks of it. So it's probably based on that. We'll move on to some of the grey ones now. These you'll probably recognise from the actual first movie. And you've got these guys which are a bit like Cthulhu type creatures. From the H.P. Lovecraft books. And I believe this is also another one of the bad guys. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. Yes, it is, yeah. So I think this is like based on, well, I don't know what it's based on really. I suppose it's people from the cartoons. So if you're very familiar with the cartoon series, you probably know who all these guys are. So we move on to Ghostbusters and a few other figures. Oh, we forgot these little monsters here as well. Gremlin type thing. Don't want this video to go on too long. And there's another one. Got like a pumpkin head on it. As I said earlier, I'm not sure which ones of these you're going to actually get with the retail game. So we'll move on to the Ghostbusters themselves. I think in the retail game you only get 4 Ghostbusters. In this one you get several. But I'm sure they will be available for retail in their own little packs. All nicely colour coded. They're not bad sculpts. As I said, I probably won't paint this one at all. I think these are some of the Kickstarter ones, or the stretch goal figures. Only a few more on this tray to go. And go with another one of the main Ghostbusters. Is it Egon, is it? Can't remember their names offhand. I know you got Vakeman, Egon, and I can't remember the other two. People out there, as I say, will be screaming at me who they are. Just a few more left in this tray. It's another one of the Kickstarter, I think, exclusives. I think most of the female ones are Kickstarter exclusives. And the last one of the Ghostbusters in this tray. And there's just one more figure on this tray, and that is good old Slimer. So that's the first tray over and done with. I'll put a little pause in and we'll take a look at the second tray. As you can see, there's quite a few in there. Okay, here we go with the second tray. Quite a few in here. We'll start up with this separate tray at the top. Again, yet more ghosties. So you get, with that sculpt, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. Actually 13, 14, there's 20 of them. So there's 20 of that ghost. Here's the Ecto 1 miniature, which you use to replace the tile. It's quite heavy as well, it's solid actually, this. That might look good painted up actually. So that's that little separate tray. Now we come on to the other tray. These are again a bit more of the haunted loos, as it were. Ghost toilets, which you saw in the other tray. So you get 3 of them extras. You've already seen him. It's slightly different sculpt though. This dog. And on to the big bads. So we have the giant Cthulhu type creature. And we have a larger version of the one you saw in the original tray. First tray we had out was a small one, but this is the big version of it. So you can see it in a lot more detail. Looks like there's something coming out of it. It's another figure in his body there. Then we have the fans' favourite, Mr. Stay Puft. And this is quite heavy, this as well. And there's 2 of these. You've got the white version and you have a red version, which is an angrier Mr. Stay Puft. So it's a different sculpt. So that is all the miniatures that you get with the game. These are the dice. Different size dice. Normal 6-side. And then you get various others. Obviously not played the game, I couldn't tell you. Not 100% sure what these are for. I suppose that might be experience trackers on the character sheets. Talking of which, you get this little box here. And inside here, I'm not going to show you all of these. It's the character cards. And obviously it's got the names of all the ghosts and the characters on these cards. Yeah, that's experience tracker, so I'm assuming that's what those little black markers are for. So you've got Venkman, Spengler, Stance, Zedmore, and on the back is just like a write-up of him. These are the various cards that you use to control the game for when the monsters. There's a galloping ghoul, so it's all their skills and how they move and all that sort of thing. Gruesome Twosome, so I did get one right. Didn't get much else right though. Boogaloo, which is that big one. Slimer, obviously, we all know and love. Idolnus. Stay Puft, Marshmallow Man. Not sure what these are. These are campaigns, what you have to achieve to do certain things, and they're all double-sided. So you get quite a few of those. There's various cards, so I'm not going to bore you with all this. These are the Kickstarter exclusives. That's the angry Mr. Stay Puft, and Zool the dog, and so on and so on. So that's all the monsters there in those cards. If you want me to do a detailed one of the cards, I will do, but this is just a quick run through. These are the other Kickstarter exclusives, well, not exclusives, but the stretch goals. Melnitz, Griffin, Ortiz, Alexander, Rookie, and then we got some scenarios and things like that on how to complete the game. So that's just a quick look at the cards. Before I finish up the video, I just want to show you a couple of the Kickstarter extras that I got, just to add a bit more to the game. So I'll put a pause in here and we'll take a look at those. Okay, these are just two of the extras that I bought. It's the Baddies Box 1, Baddies Box 2. It's just really a few extra of the bad guys, just to add a little bit more to the game. They're their cards. Baddie Box 1 and number 2. Again, you've got Zool and the Grey Lady. It's obviously the one that's in the library. Oh, and my flash is just gone on my camera, so I'm getting very low on power, so I better get done with this quick. These are the extra from this box. You've already seen them in the originals earlier. So you got those four there. And in this one, again, a couple more Zools, another Grey Lady, and obviously Gozer, is it? I think it's Gozer. But yeah, that's the only real extra bits that I bought, apart from all the miniatures that you come with this box. So, sorry that was a bit sort of rushed. I just wanted to get this video out there. There's not many unboxings of this game on YouTube at the moment, so I just wanted to bung mine on there. What do you guys think? Is it a game that you might be thinking of getting? Not to say, haven't played it yet. From the videos that I've seen of gameplay, it looks quite fun. So stay tuned for more videos. I've got a couple of more games arrived. I've got Fury of Dracula, 3rd edition. Classic game Cluedo has come. I've got the Witcher board game as well, that's also come through. And the huge box, which I got the other day, is Dungeon Saga. It's another Kickstarter I backed. So expect those videos coming up very soon. So until then, as always, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.